Today I'm going to be showing you an updated tutorial for how I create pins for Pinterest. Today I'm going to be creating a pin for my business Pinterest. So I create pins all the time for my blog page, but this time I'm starting to update some for my business. So in order to do that, I'm using Canva as usual. This is Canva 2.0. I've been using Canva 1.0 and now I've switched to Canva 2.0. There aren't a ton of differences, but I do prefer 2.0 for how it's laid out and organized. But you're going to be able to do the same things in either version of Canva. So to start, we're going to create a new design and we're going to select the Pinterest graphic here. What's really nice about using the Pinterest graphic is it already has the correct dimensions you need to create a pin for Pinterest. You don't have to worry about figuring out what size canvas you need to use. You have a couple of options when you come here. You can create something completely from scratch, which is what I typically do, or if you're not feeling super inspired, you can go ahead and select one of these already pre-made templates and just adjust things according to what your pin is going to be about. But we're going to start from scratch today. So the first thing that I do when I create any pin for Pinterest is I go over to the Elements tab and I select a grid. So this grid is going to allow you to place any photo within your canvas, and it's going to already adjust that photo so it fits within that frame. So you're not going to have to worry about resizing your photo and making it look right to fit this canvas. So I'm just selecting this grid here, and it's going to snap right into the frame and be ready for you to put any sort of photo within it. So you have a couple of options here as well. You can choose to add your own photos, whether they're ones that you've taken yourself or ones that you found from a stock image website. I love using photos from Unsplash. That's my favorite place to go for free stock photos, but I am going to be using my own personal photo today. So anytime that you're using a photo from a different source, you're going to want to upload that to your Canva. I already have mine uploaded and ready to go, so I'm just going to select that photo, that's this one here, and I'm going to drag it, and you'll see how it snaps right into place. If you don't like the position of your photo, you can double click it and just move it around until it's placed where you'd like it to be. All right, so my photo's in. We're going to go ahead and start adding some text and other elements. Before we do that, I'll just show you really quickly. You can also add a filter to your photo. You can also adjust the brightness, saturation, the tone of it. We're not going to do any of that today, but just know that that's available if you haven't already adjusted anything or placed a filter on your photo. You can do that right here in Canva. So now we're going to go ahead and start adding text by clicking over here. And you'll see already these pre-designed text boxes pop up. I do really like to use these because it helps me discover different font combinations that I haven't thought of on my own already. So we're going to scroll down to find one. And when you find the one you want to use, you're just going to select it. And you'll see it pop up here. They are going to come grouped together. Know that you don't have to use all of these different text boxes. I'm not going to use this bottom one, so I'm going to select ungroup, and I'm going to delete this bottom element. All right, and then we're ready to start editing our text. So I'm going to select this one first, and you want to try and come up with something that is going to get people to click on your pin. Obviously, people are going to see the image, but they're also going to be seeing the text. So I'm going to type in okay. This is obviously too big to fit into the pin, so I'm going to just adjust the font size and the alignment a bit. And then I'm going to drag this down to the bottom because I really want people to be able to see this part of my pin. And I'm going to stretch it out too. All right, so once that's done, I'm going to add my website. This is something I can't stress enough. I wasn't doing this before when I first started creating my own pins, but you want people to be able to see who is pinning this and where it's going to link to. So I do this with my blog. I always put my blog domain name in all of my pins, and then I've also started doing this with all of the pins that I've been creating for my business. So I'm going to make this just a little bit bigger. It's too big. And then I also kind of like to space out my letters a little bit, just so it's easy to see and easy to read. Okay, so that's up here. We have this here. This could be fine for you, but personally, I like to have some other elements to make that text stand out a little bit better. So I'm going to go over to the elements side, and I'm going to go under shapes and find the square. I'll just select that and drag it down to the bottom and resize it. I might even go in and make the text just a tiny bit smaller. Now we're going to adjust the position and send it backwards so it's behind the text. And then we're going to change the color of the box here. So you can keep it this gray color. You can change it to white. We can see how that looks. And I almost always adjust the transparency, especially depending on what's in the background. You could even, from here, you could even go ahead and adjust your photo a little bit more if you'd like. Just keep adjusting a little bit. All right, so once you're done creating your pin, you're going to want to name it. And then you're going to want to download it to your desktop. I always use the PNG option. You can use JPEGs, PDFs, but I always use PNG because they're higher quality images. And then you're just going to let that download. I'll also show you how we're going to upload that to Pinterest. If you haven't gotten a business account for your Pinterest yet, you need to do that because that's going to allow you to set up rich pins. It's going to allow you to link back to your website, and it's also going to allow you to see the analytics for your page. So I have to tell you, I haven't been super active on my business Pinterest because I've been working on building up my blog's Pinterest. But before, this was at over 40,000 monthly viewers, and this was also over 1,000 monthly engaged. So if you sign up for your business Pinterest, you're going to be able to see these analytics and see how your pins are converting to your website. So you'll be able to track who's visiting your website from Pinterest, and everything's just going to be linked up, which is really helpful for you to know as a blogger or a business owner. So just a side note, if you haven't gotten a business Pinterest yet, you need to go do that. All right, so we're going to create a pin, and then we're going to select our image we just created. All right, this is almost just as important as creating the pin itself is adding a title and description. So you want to make sure that you're using appropriate keywords so that anyone who's coming to Pinterest could have the chance to see your pin pop up in their search. Okay, once you have your description typed out, you're also going to want to link to the page where people can go ahead and purchase this particular product Or if you're creating a blog post, you're going to want to link to the page where your blog post is. So then you're going to choose a board to pin it to and click Save. And that's really all you have to do. Once people start seeing your pin and clicking on it, you're going to see up here how many impressions your pin has gotten, how many clicks, how many saves, which is also a great benefit to having a business account with Pinterest. So I hope this tutorial was helpful for you. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email me at elizabeth@howshedoesit.co or just leave me a message in the comments below. So thanks for watching.